of Bama football on YouTube. I appreciate y'all being here. Thank you so much. Today is Tuesday. It is February 10th. I appreciate you guys being here, and thank you for supporting Wake Up Bama. Thank you for supporting the live right here every single day, Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. or as major news happens. As you know, yesterday the news came out that Charles Bediako, basically, I just called it cooked. It was an interesting experiment, and I get that other G League players are, playing currently across college basketball, but it just always felt like it was going to go this route, right? It didn't feel clean. And I think, as people, when things are, clean and when things are going to work out and when they're just not going to work out. I was down to just write it out, but I could tell when I would post it on social media, when I would talk about it here on Bama Football on YouTube, it never felt like there was true symmetry with this. It didn't feel right? Like, we can connect pieces pretty easy together, and this was something that just, I thought we'd probably get here. Now, they tried to kind of extend the temporary restraining order back to the 17th or the 18th, and I think maybe Alabama in some capacity knew that as well, and they were just going to, maybe try to get to that point to win a couple more games. But at the end of the day, a judge decided that he's going to be ineligible. And at first I was like, oh man, so does that mean that the games that Alabama won, and they played 5 games with Bediako, they were 3-2 during that stretch, does that mean that they have to vacate those games? To my understanding, because of the temporary restraining order in the way that it was worded, that's not going to be an issue. So we just basically go forward without Bediako. At the end of the day, there's nothing you can do about it. The University of Alabama put out a statement. They said that they were disappointed. Nate Oates kind of pointed to the fact that, foreign players are put in a better position than American players in this particular situation. For Bediako, he's going to stay on scholarship, and he'll stay on scholarship as a student as he finishes that degree, and where he goes from here. I'm sure somebody's going to pick him up, whether that's a G League or if he can get into the NBA, later on. I think for Alabama basketball, on the court play, this team, I think they were better with him, but not by a large margin. And I feel that they didn't necessarily utilize him as I thought they would, particularly on an offensive side. And that's never going to be their approach, right? Nate Oates is, run and gun. You're going to have perimeter guys, and even your bigs are going to shoot from the outside. Rarely are you going to have, a game where you're just dominating with points inside the paint. It happens every once in a while. You hit some jumpers. But, even Alabama, they don't hit jumpers. It's kind of fast breaks type stuff and perimeter play. I thought where it could help Alabama basketball the most is basically on the defensive side and rebounding. And I think from a defensive perspective, he did help. And from a rebounding perspective, he did help. And when Alabama has played bigger, more physical teams, they can utilize a guy like Bediako. And now without him, it's going to be harder to beat a Tennessee. It's going to be harder to beat a Florida. It's going to be impossible to beat Arizona, who, by the way, lost their first game against Kansas yesterday. It's going to be nearly impossible to beat a team like Purdue. The bigger teams that can bang, the bigger teams that they've had trouble with in the past are still going to be an issue. So moving forward, Bediako won't be playing, and I think that it will impact Alabama basketball. Now, this kind of back-end stretch is still favorable for the basketball team. And I think they're going to win a significant amount of games kind of going to the back end. But long term, I think, is this a Sweet 16 team? Yeah. Depends on how hot they get shooting. If they get wicked hot, who knows? That's not always the case. And sometimes from the free throw line, they've even struggled. So if you can't rebound, if you can't be 100% from the free throw line, and you're not 38 to 40% from your perimeter, I'm talking 3-ball, then you're cooked, okay? So we'll follow it out. We'll support the team. We'll still do the watch-alongs and whatnot, but I think from an opening standpoint, it kind of went the way that we thought it was going to go. And I think in closing on this, it didn't seem like there's a lot of things that Alabama is really good about in terms of brand and like being the top end brand in college athletics and, kind of the shining star of like the league. I don't think that this was it. And I think it was a bad look overall for the brand of the University of Alabama basketball, or University of Alabama overall. Do you agree? Yes or no? It feels like it was a bad look. So we move on. And I think now that it's kind of cleaned out and now that we have a definitive answer, we can move forward. So with that said, I appreciate you guys being here. Thank you so much for joining me on today's program right here, coming to you from beautiful Tuscaloosa, Alabama, where, you know what, the weather, man, it was nice this morning. It's about 50 degrees this morning, and looks like the back end of this day should be really nice. I think we got up to like 70 yesterday, which was crazy because it's been so cold. Right? You're talking like humongous type swings. We'll do some AM shout outs here in a minute. Appreciate you guys being active inside the comment box. And the latest kind of talk, the rumor mill, is kind of the return of A-Day in some capacity. Do you want A-Day back? Yes or no? Let's just say what you say inside the comment box. Yes or no inside the comment box. Do you want A-Day back? Okay. And what I mean by that is like, do you want like the real A-Day back? I'm talking like an actual game. I'm not talking like a practice. I'm talking like a game the way that it was once set up. And I'm not trying to live in the past. I'm really not. In fact, I'm trying to live more in the future, or trying to live more in the present than ever. Okay? But I felt that A-Day, like an actual game, not practice, is kind of what I'd be hoping for. And I think whatever we did last year, it was kind of like a Frankenstein approach to having like a practice. That was not it. That was, like the steak and beans. I mean, look, Kalen DeBoer could call it the ice cream and cone game. The team that wins gets real ice cream. The team that loses gets cones. I don't know. I mean, it was the steak and the beanie weenies. That was the last part. This time it could be ice cream and cone, right? I don't know. Whatever you do, whatever you want to say. But like that competition was great to watch. And I feel that it would be perfect right now, I think, for connection between the staff and the fans. Do you feel like there's kind of a disconnection between like the coaches, the coaching staff, and the fans? I do. I feel there's a disconnection. I feel like we don't have like there's not continuity as much as there could be, as much as there should be. It's kind of like, he's there, we're here. Things like this are an opportunity to build community. It's an opportunity to build fans together. It's an opportunity to support your team, right? I don't know. And look, maybe you go from like, free game, and maybe because they need money, right? They've said they need as much money as humanly possible. I don't know. Do you pass around a bucket at the game? No. You figure out a way to like charge a modest amount to enter the game. Does that help in any sort of fashion? I don't know. Because in the past it used to be free. And I remember when I first got here, A-Day was like a thing. I'm telling you, it was the biggest thing in this area in the springtime. It was, I think when Saban first got here, I think that one of those first spring games, I think they had 91,000 people. I'm not kidding you. I wasn't here for that game, but when I was still coming, when it was still a thing and I would still go to this stuff, like in 2017, 18, 19, not 20, obviously, there were a lot of people at these games. And a lot, 50 to 60,000. I don't know if I ever saw a 70,000 A-Day game, but definitely over 50 for sure. I mean, the whole entire bottom bowl, I saw that field for sure. So my point is, number one, we got a hell of a quarterback competition. That's going to be exciting to watch. You still have a coaching staff and a head football coach that, needs to continue to build relationships with the community, with the with Alabama. That's a perfect opportunity. Plus, the fans are able to get together, celebrate it. I think if you don't have an A-Day, it causes kind of more of that division. But I think they're going to have it, okay? So there's been some recruits recently that have kind of spilled the beans. And they've been like, yo, I'm coming back to Alabama for A-Day. I think Auburn is having an A-Day. And I think Georgia is having like their G-Day or whatever they call it. So Alabama, kind of the rumor mill is that the A-Day spring football game will be back. I appreciate the 68 of you guys being here. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Robert with the $20 super chat. I really thank you, man. Thank you so much for kicking it off strong with the 20 spot, man. Appreciate you, Robert. What's up, bro? Man, that's a nice Tuesday super, bro. I think the fans need it, and that's probably just it. And you want to do what the fans want, because the fans are the ones that ultimately support you. So I say have it, but I say this is it. Okay, who was there anyone that went to last year's deal? I went to it. And it was like a practice, which was fine. I mean, I think during that point in time, you get to April, you're like, I'm willing to see any sort of football be thrown in the air, right? But I've been to past A-Days, and the past stuff is like an actual game with like announcers and, stats and all the stuff. Do it like that. Right? Yo, Blissful. So what did you think? Did you think the same thing that I thought? It was like, I don't know. I left and I was like, I don't know. I was like, what did I watch? I was like, it was cool, I guess. I don't know. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Fisherman went too. It was practice. and I think what people were kind of afraid of last year was the fact that A-Day, it was going to be televised. And then what made it worse was the transfer portal was like, wasn't it the next day? Man, what a crazy time we're in. The transfer portal was literally the next day. So they couldn't even show out like bells and whistles. Somebody got loose, he probably get offered $1 million at the transfer portal. But this is important to note. There's no more transfer portal dates. The next one, I guess, is next year, right? So so why not have it? Todd, what do you think, bro? Todd's being active, man. Let's see. So, Todd, you don't want to come to the A-Day, or you don't want to go to the practice? I don't know. I'm saying bring back A-Day, but and look, I'm not trying to live in the past. I'm saying whatever, however you want to develop your scoring system or whatever, make it like a game. I don't care. You do it. You got the ice cream and you got the cones, right? You figure it out. Shoot, you get it sponsored by, Kaneka versus Mercedes. If Team Kaneka wins, everybody gets, the winning team. Oh, how about this? Kaneka versus Mercedes. The winning team gets to lease a Mercedes for the season, and the losing team gets a $5,000, sponsorship patch from, Kaneka. Seriously, what is that? How about that? Hey, I lost, but I'm, now sponsored by Kaneka. It's cool. I won. I'm driving a Benz, Something to think about. I don't know. You come up with your ideas. Because the jersey patches are coming on. They're coming back. And the field will probably be the end zone. Just wait till the touchdown is by Alexander Shinara, right? Touchdown, Alabama. This touchdown is sponsored by Call Me Alabama. right? Every time Alabama gets in the end zone, call me Alabama. Just wait. All that stuff's coming. All right. Let's see who's up in the crib today. I appreciate you guys being here. Thank you so much for joining me. Right. Free sausage for life. And what about this? You could also do Milo's tea. Capstone Farms saying slow sports week. You said it, brother. All right, don't forget to smack. Hey, Miss Crystal, thank you. I appreciate it. Danny the Great, what's up? Will the High Note, thank you very much for being here. Danny the Great, good to see you. Max Tooney, Amanda Jane, thank you very much. Justin RTR, appreciate you being active inside the comment box. Kevin, what's up? Kevin Z, Capstone Farms. Chad Kennedy, what's up, man? Good to see you. Smitty Hertz, right? Nice little Super Bowl combo there. We got Rocket Sound. What's going on, Rocket Sound? Thank you so much. We got Robert Bradley Jr., man. What's up? Seth Thompson rolling in. Thank you so much, Seth. Good to see you, bro. Jarvis, what's up, man? Jarvis from the 251. Thank you so much for being here. We got Chris G. What's up, man? Good to see you. We got Hacker Music. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. We got Miss Nicole Covington. Thank you. Antonio Snell. What's up, Antonio? Good to see you, bro. Thank you very much. Kaylin Childress, thank you very much for joining us as well. K Spray, good to see you. Kevin Z, I think we said what's up to you earlier. Tyler, I ain't seen you before. What's up, Tyler? Good to see you, bro. Curtis Bishop, good morning. I think Michael. What's up, Michael? Michael Hill, good morning to you, bro. I appreciate you being here. Robert Hell, thank you as well. Good crew this morning. And then Robert Hell also with the super chat, man. Man, that was like coming out, you know. This was we call the anything over $20 is an explosive play. You know what I'm saying? Like, we love explosive plays, right? A $10 super chat is like, you know, a 15-yard gain. Solid, right? A 2-yard, a $5, that's like a first down, right? We're moving the chains, right? A 20 is like an explosive. Maybe that's what we should do. We get to 100, that's like the touchdown, right? I'm coming up with things. All right, Patriotic, what's up, dog? Good to see you, man. Gage, good to see you, bro. Thank you so much. All right, cool. The quad setup be crazy. Yo, in that for A-Day, you still have like all your things, right? Okay, let's see. Okay, so importance. Okay, so this is a new sleeper push. Okay, this is from Sleeper, so please support Sleeper, right? We're making a huge push for Sleeper. I've been asked personally to push this out. So the promo code is very important, okay? The promo code circled, which is tailgate. That is my personal tailgate, okay? If you use it, and now is a really good time because Sleeper just brought something brand new to the table, okay? And as you know, today's show is sponsored by Sleeper. You can build your own daily fantasy picks and follow along, right? Using my promo code, which is tailgate. Just remember, past performances are not indicative of future results. Sleeper is also launched right here. Team Picks. This is brand new. Okay, brand new. Heads up, fam. Where you can literally choose the winner of each game. Okay. So you definitely want to get in this. Basically, you can. Here's an example. You got Alabama versus Ole Miss, right? So you download the app and you just get $20 by downloading the app. And then still the same thing, right? $100 deposit match up to $100. And now you can make team picks. So definitely check it out. And the first way to do this is by downloading the app. And the promo code is tailgate. And the best way to do this, to be honest, is go on your phone. And underneath each video, you'll see a hyperlink. Click that. It'll take it to download. And that'll get you launched with tailgate. But the promo code is tailgate. Please check this out. It's available in 25 states. Terms and conditions apply. And the promo code is tailgate. But now you can make team picks, which is very, very nice and should be very fun for us to check out. 100%. Okay. All right. I don't know if you saw this. All right. But it looks like Alabama versus Ohio State for the 2027 matchup could be on the kibosh, right? Next year, and not this coming season, but next year, Alabama is going to head to Columbus, right? It's a home and home. In the following year, Ohio State was going to come here. I guess that'd be 2028. So now it looks like this game could be put on the kibosh. And probably a lot has to do with Alabama and the SEC going to a 9-game SEC conference schedule, right? How do we feel about this? I think that, honestly, it probably makes more sense because we've understood the playoff format to be loaded up with cupcakes, right? Am I right? You don't exactly, Capstone. You don't need it. Why? You go up to Columbus. Let's say you lose that game. You are going to be penalized for the rest of the season. And it's an early season game? No. So the design to get in, and Chris, what's up, man? Thanks for joining us from Nashville, bro. The way to get into the playoffs is what? What? Is to play Troy. Is to play UAB. Is to play, you name it, right? Tulsa. I don't know. The New Mexico State Aggies. That's the way to get into the playoffs. They want a clean record. That is the number one thing, right? They want you to be up in your conference, but they want you to just win games. That's it. Wins. Yes, Michael. Just wins. It doesn't matter who, and they want style points in those wins. They want to know that you can beat UTEP 50-0. That is worth way more and way more important than going to Columbus and losing by a field goal. Okay, they'd be like, well, Ohio State's good, but they didn't play on the road well, and they couldn't run, okay? They couldn't run in that game. And there was an interception thrown. So because they threw an interception and because they couldn't run for 100 yards against Ohio State, this isn't a playoff team. But guess what? You cancel this game. You know what? Alabama ran for 450 yards against UTEP. They didn't allow a touchdown. And, even though the game was in El Paso, they were able to just absolutely dominate. And look, they lost one conference game, but they beat UTEP by 50 points on the road. That's a playoff team. You see what I'm saying? We thought, man, you'll get Ohio State on the schedule, be very challenging, right? But it'll be a good match, and win or lose, you're not going to be penalized for it because it's another playoff team. That's not how the committee looks at it. The committee penalizes you for playing these type of games if you lose, right? I think we all knew that. So cancel this game immediately. There's no point in having a home and home with this team. There's no point in even having a home and home with Florida State. There's no point in even having a home and home, with any team that can be ranked going forward. If you think that this team can be ranked within the next 5 years when you're building the schedule, take them off. And, Jay, what's up, man? I appreciate you. You are 1,000,000% right. 1,000,000% right inside the comment box, bro. This is probably the best thing is that Alabama is and will always be judged at a different scale. They have to beat UTEP by 50. They have to beat Ohio State on the road, okay? They have to win with style points. And for all the great things that Bama has done, it's also penalized them in the eyes of everybody else because if they don't win by that much, they're not good. A win is not enough for Alabama. Do you agree with me? A win is not enough. And a loss for Alabama weighs way more than a loss for anybody else. I'm 1,000,000% serious. Like Texas could still lose a game right now. And you're like, well, they're getting their things together. Alabama loses a game. Oh, my God. DeBoer's not it. You got to fire him immediately. He can't get it done. The team is soft. Right? They win. Alabama wins. Well, they only won by 10. 10, bro. 10. It's crazy. It's crazy. Let's see. Josh Miller, bro. What's up, man? Good to see you, man. Josh Miller's been a fan funder for quite some time. Shoot, man. That 22 months, man, as an ultimate fan funder? Josh, that's what's up, bro. Kyle, how did Bediako case go from court when all the other G League and Baylor's first-round picks never even touched the court? D-pay for Alabama is real. I think, and this is a lot of people are mad about this. I guess there's what the University of Alabama put out is there was 100 players that are kind of in this realm, G League in college basketball. And I was like, wow, that was eye-opening. I think it's because, to be honest, I don't know. I'm like, man, I think he got, look, from my understanding, the way that the NCAA was attacking this is that he took, I think it was 76 payments that equaled $526,000. And maybe the route and how he chose to go to the G League compared to the other players, either way, it doesn't make sense because it's not symmetrical, right? And until there's like symmetrical or like a definitive line within G League and college basketball, I mean, it does seem like he got cooked, right? And just as I was saying, I mean, does it seem like Alabama was kind of held a little bit closer to the fire here? Maybe. This was an interesting case, but as soon as I saw Sankey back to NCAA, I knew 100 million % that Bediako was going to be cooked. So, yeah, it sucks, and that's just the way it goes. Cody says, get Notre Dame on our schedule. No, I wouldn't put anybody that could be a playoff team or is in the top 25. I would go the only, and Todd is right, bro. This is it right here. The European Pro should be ineligible 1,000,000%. I agree. The only way that I look to Alabama's schedule is outside top 50 teams. Those are the only teams that you put on board, period. Right? Oh, yeah. Max says play Notre Dame in 2029. Take it off. Take it off. There's no need to play that team. Because even if you beat Notre Dame, and Alabama probably beat Notre Dame twice, by that point in time, they won't beat them by enough points. So what will happen to Notre Dame is Bama will, this is my far out prediction. Notre Dame will beat Bama in 2028 or 2029 by like 10 points. Okay. And then what will happen to Notre Dame is they'll lose to like Louisville or they'll lose to like, I don't know, Nevada, right? In overtime. And what will happen is they'll be like, you know what? That wasn't a good win by Alabama because look, Notre Dame lost to Nevada too. So it hurts Alabama. So Alabama, look, you're going on the road. And it's because Notre Dame wasn't, they didn't beat Nevada. I would take them off. Right now, the best way to schedule 50 and below, blow them out by 65 points or more. That's it. Run up to score on all these teams. And then, take care of conference, let conference kind of shake out. And that's the only direction that you can win games like this and get into the playoffs. So no more Florida State, no more, this preseason stuff. Do you get what I'm saying? There you go. Yeah, Max. Western Carolina, Sam Houston. 1 million. Yeah. So I guess look for this to be canceled at some point. I mean, it's not official, but people are saying that it's pretty close. Okay. Next up, and I'm going to put a poll, the daily poll, okay? DeBoer extension. And I got to fix, man, I always misspell extension. It's just so embarrassing. But, man, I'm human, so I'm going to try to just take accountability and just fix it and just move forward. Okay, DeBoer extension coming. Yes or no? Okay, so let's discuss this. Coach Kalen DeBoer enters his third year, okay? And the way I want to phrase this is in two different ways. Will Coach Kalen DeBoer get a contract extension before this season? Let's look at it that way, and then I'll ask you a different question after this year. It felt like every coach got an extension following this past season. Remember when all the coaches were getting extensions? I mean, everybody thought people were going to, Penn State, right? But guys who kind of secured an extension, Mike Elko, right? Similar lines as DeBoer, right? Entering now his third year. I think Dan Lanning recently had one. There was a lot of guys that were kind of in line that got extensions. And I think that the reason I ask about Coach DeBoer is because of what happened towards, I guess, like November and December. And that's when he was being mentioned for Penn State. That Penn State job got so many people extensions, right? I mean, everybody got paid off that job. And some people saying that Jimmy Sexton was doing work behind the scenes, and that's why all those people got, raises and this and that. And then after that, DeBoer was linked to Michigan. Do you all think that was true? Seriously. And I kind of think back to that game against Auburn, and I'm like, what would have happened? What would have really happened if Alabama would have lost to Auburn? Okay, here's another yes or no. Do you think that if DeBoer and Alabama would have lost to Auburn, he would have been fired? Do you think that if DeBoer and Alabama lost to Auburn, he'd be fired? I kind of think so. I don't know. Lag says no. I think he would have. It seemed like that whole, and that's when that was the Kiffin weekend, right? When he was gonna announce what was happening. Okay, so you guys say no. Okay, so you guys say no. Justin says yes. I was thinking he would have. Man. Okay, so yeah, good feedback. Most people say no. We'll call it 70% say no. I was in that other half. I don't know. There's a couple more yeses now. Well, it's like 60% no. And now that, and then all that Michigan stuff was right after that, right? And he came out and publicly said that he's not going anywhere and that him and his family love it in Tuscaloosa. And so then I was thinking, I was like, okay, then after that, they won a playoff game. So he's entering his third year, and you're like, okay. And I think the initial contract was 10 years? And so with the playoff game, and by winning, 11 games, is that enough to extend him? I would say before the season and before this year, I would say no. I think I've seen some feedback inside the comment boxes. It's too early. I think this is the year that this is a contract extension year. Can we agree on that? What happens in year 3, then we'll have enough data points. We might not have enough data points right now. And if you really wanted to go off some data points, it would be really interesting to see how people really felt. We put everything on the table that DeBoer's done, and you were like, look, do you really want DeBoer to be, the heck? Look, if we looked at everything from year 1 and year 2, and you had that opportunity to have DeBoer back for year 3, I would think people would say yes. Now, after year 3, we'll ask that same question. Because, look, he did take a step forward. Other areas didn't necessarily, but most areas did. So I think an extension is coming pending the results of year 3. And then you kind of get there. Yeah, you know what, Will? That might be it, bro. It's and the way I'll say this, all or nothing type year. I'm not saying, from my fans' perspective, I'm realistic to know that winning a championship is going to just be ridiculously hard for anybody. So I'm not saying if he doesn't win a championship, fire him. I'm not in that area. I'm saying I'm looking at everything from like an improvement standpoint. I want to see consistency in the defense. Okay, we did it one year. Let's do it again. Okay, let's improve the special teams. Let's have a big step forward with that offense, and let's see those quarterbacks really shine. And you were the guy that came in with the offensive mindset. We want to see that. We want to see the offense flourish, because I think the last 2 years under Coach Kalen DeBoer, the offense has not been impressive to us, right? It hasn't been. The offense hasn't been impressive. It wasn't impressive under Milroe, and it wasn't impressive under Ty. It just wasn't. I think at times it got a little bit better this past year, but it wasn't enough to be like, yeah, this is it, bro. This is really it. The chef says that DeBoer will be the head coach of USC in 2027. Yeah, USC probably needs a new football coach, right? I mean, I don't know who gets that job next. But I would say based on where USC is and what Lincoln Riley hasn't done out there, they're going to get a new coach eventually, sooner than later, I'd say. USC should be killing it. They should be top in the Big Ten. That's kind of where I thought that Grubb would go. I thought this was kind of my prediction. I thought Grubb would come here, absolutely crush it, and then maybe go out somewhere. And if it aligned with USC, kind of moving on from Riley, that's where Grubb would go. But clearly, I mean, Grubb didn't have the type of season to where he would go somewhere else. I mean, maybe if he does it this year, then he goes. But, I mean, right now, Grubb just had a tough year. He's not somebody a program's willing to go after. Not yet. I agree, Michael. Lincoln hasn't done anything. Nothing has been impressive at USC. And USC should be, they own Southern California. They have Utah right there to just recruit out of, right? I mean, you could build up, you have all the junior college teams. Actually, man, think about this. Think about all the JUCO teams out in Cali. You should have the most veteran squad and the guys who can play the longest from junior college experience at USC. That USC team should be like 25 years old every single year. That should be a pro team. They're not. They got some weapons coming back this year, but I don't know. We'll have to see. So I think kind of getting back to Coach DeBoer and the whole extension thing, I think it is coming. Kind of pending the results of this year. I mean, it's just that big, right? So that's kind of where we're at. And I think as I was talking this morning on Wake Up Bama, these first 5 games, Georgia's the 6th, by the way. The first 5 games really will give Alabama an opportunity to get a lot of momentum for the offense. Do you agree with that take? Do you think, okay, how about this? And I already kind of explained this, but for you guys, just to answer, do you feel which unit starts off fastest? And by fastest, I'm saying like looks more polished, looks ready to go, the offense or the defense? I would say I'm going hard that the defense comes out swinging. I don't think Eastern Carolina puts a point on the board. Maybe like 3. I think the defense will be so good, right? But I think the offense, they're gonna need time. And these first 5 games give you enough time to figure it out for the next part of the schedule, right? Ricky Smith, say defense, right? Ricky Smith, what's up? I appreciate you being here. Bama Girl, thanks for checking in. Stod, what's up, man? See you inside the comment box as well. Michael says defense as well, right? Yeah, I think it's obvious. I mean, there's no way it's going to take time for the defense to, like, find itself. Maybe, a quarter or 2, but these guys should be coming out, angry, experienced. Even the defensive prospects that we brought in from the transfer portal, they're experienced. Take it easy, Robert. Appreciate you being here, bro. Have a good rest of your Tuesday. Danny the Great likes the offense. See, the only thing is, Danny, like my play right now is just going to be the fact that they don't have on the field experience. Not like off the field talent. Off the field talent and on the field experience are two different things for me, right? Like if I've seen you on the field perform, I love it. If I know about you and we can assess you're going to be good, love it. But until you're like doing things, I ain't really buying it until I seen it. The first 5 games are, it's a good lineup. The second one is a little bit interesting to me. Like on the road against Kentucky, right? That's interesting. Florida State, payback game, Bryant-Denny Stadium. South Carolina, clearly the toughest out of those games before the big one with Georgia, which is also at home at Bryant-Denny Stadium. Man, it's been a while. It seems like it's been a while since Alabama went to Stark Vegas. Anybody been to Stark Vegas before? All right, so coming up next, we will go over the raffle, right, for this Friday. And then I'm going to take your calls, okay? So you can load up. And remember, if you called in yesterday, you're off today. All right, so I appreciate you guys following those rules. I'll get the call-in line activated in 2 seconds. Now, this is the raffle that we have taking place for Friday. And the way to get into this raffle, it's $5 to enter, up to 3 opportunities. We're raffling off this Bama football on YouTube hat, okay? Venmo, Bama_YouTube, Cash App, Bama YouTube. And, we'll spin it on Friday at 10:45, okay? So, nice little rope hat for this spring season. And we do raffles every Friday, right? So, appreciate you guys getting active in that raffle. And coming up next, we will go to the call-in line, and I'll be back in 2 seconds, and I will take your calls. Be right back. Have you tried Kyle's Chemicals? Looking for a reason to join Coach Kalen DeBoer? Maybe you should. I'm just kidding. I'm just on the other side. I know you can still hear me. I'll be right back. Don't you think that commercial tag is hilarious, though? I don't even know how I thought of that. It just, stayed and we started rocking with it and whatever. And this is our pinwheel music, so this is the only music I have loaded at the time being. All this stuff. I don't even know how I do all this, to be honest. I didn't learn it. I just literally rub 2 sticks together, and then this is how the show works. Is that the downfall? I don't know. But I like this music. Right? And if you've been on the pinwheel is it's so fun. Call line is open, by the way. This is the call line number 205-850-1994. When you call in to the show, right? I'm going to be like, yo, you're on the line with Kyle Henderson. Who am I on the line with and where you calling from? And you're going to be like, yo, this is, Milo. I'm calling from Sweet Tea, Arizona, right? Chef, what's up, dog? I see you inside the comment box. Chef, you like Taco Bell sauce? Man, I'm not mad at Taco Bell at all. I you know what I like at Taco Bell? I like those, I like the Dorito tacos. They're good. Randy, what's up, dog? Appreciate you, man. Hey, Kyle, I would love to enjoy seeing an A-Day game again. Love your podcast. Thank you so much, brother. I appreciate you being here. All right, let's see. We got any calls? No calls so far. 205-850-1994. So far, we've been talking Taco Bell. That's the hot topic for today. Do you guys have, who else has a Taco Casa? You guys have Taco Casa? Okay, how about this? I have no idea where Taco Casas are at, other than here in Tuscaloosa. And I will be 1,000,000% honest. It has taken me a while to get used to Taco Casa. I don't know why. And I don't live far from one. One is not too far from here. And tried it out a couple times. And I don't know. Then all of a sudden I started liking it. So, look, I don't go there often. But when I do, I like their tacos. I don't do anything crazy. I just get like the beef tacos and a little bit of sauce. And we're straight, right? What's up, Mass Daytona? Good to see you, brother. Yeah. I mean, but there's not. Think about it. There's so many Mexican restaurants, probably in your town and my town. Yo, it's crazy. We have like 4 jalapenos, all these places, and then look, it's a lot different from like where back in New Mexico or when I lived in Las Cruces. It's not the same. It's just not. But there's plenty. But there's not a lot of, which is surprising. There's not a lot of fast food like taco places. You know what I'm saying? See, Justin brings up this. Justin has seen Breaking Bad, all right? And the reason I know this is because, right? Oh, El Pollo Loco. Is there one in New Mexico? Right? The Crazy Chicken? I thought you were talking about Dos Homeranos, which is actually real. It's a Twisters. If you're from New Mexico, you know about Twisters, right? Let's see. Rex says, this could be the worst year so far. So how would you, what do you mean, Rex? Worst year for what? Michael says, Dennis, you lost your mind. What are you guys talking about? What did I miss? Oh my God, Chef. Dude, you're making us go straight to lunch. Carne asada tacos are the best. And you know where they have the best carne asada here in Tuscaloosa? Is at Antojitos. It's down on McFarland. You got to go down by McFarland. You know where Snow Hinton Park is, right? It's like past the mall. And it's located back in this little corner spot. And I'm telling you, the carne asada is absolutely, like, it's ridiculous. Yeah. You can just basically get, like, I think it just, there's like a regular carne asada and it comes out with, like, I don't know, onions and some bell peppers and, like, Spanish rice or whatever, and it's solid. Antojitos is unbelievable. Yo, you know where they got birria here in Tuscaloosa? They got it at Lupe's. Has anybody been to Lupe's? Lupe's is down, kind of like downtown. And at Lupe's, they have some birria. Birria goes hard, man. They do a good job, right? Agent, what's up, man? Appreciate it. K-Spray says, Kyle in the kitchen. Yeah, last night I was on the baked potatoes. Made the baked potatoes, threw the ground turkey on them with the cheese, and we were straight from there. All right, 256, let's do it. Hey, welcome to the program. You're online with Kyle Henderson. Who am I online with and where are you calling in from?
Good morning, Kyle. This is Patriotic Orange.
Patriotic, what's up, man? Good to hear your voice, bro. Thanks for being a supporter of Bama football on YouTube, man. I really appreciate you. Come with it, man. Welcome to the program.
Yeah, first-time caller.
Yeah, love it. Yeah.
What's our hot topic this morning?
I don't know. It could be DeBoer getting an extension. Could be Bediako being cooked and how the basketball team will kind of fare without him. It could be anything related to A-Day, right? Like, do we want A-Day? Or, shit, man, right now people are just talking about tacos. So, it's kind of your show, man. You want to talk tacos, Bediako, DeBoer, A-Day? You just let me know, bro.
Yeah, I had Taco Bell last night.
What's your order?
I had a soft taco supreme and a cantina chicken quesadilla.
You know what? Okay, I'm gonna tell you guys. Okay, you know what's good? That's not. I'm not bad at that. But you know what? This is gonna sound weird. You know what is good at Taco Bell is their fries with the cheese sauce. I'm telling you, like it's just like a quick little snack, right? If you're like kind of out there on the go. Get a little fries with the cheese sauce and you're straight. So, all right, that's your Taco Bell order. What do you think? Are you for like A-Day coming back? You passed A-Day. What you thinking, Patriotic?
I'm for A-Day. I watch it on TV. Of course, I'm in a wheelchair, so it's hard to get a handicapped seat. My thoughts on Bediako is he never should have played.
Yeah.
I think it was a major distraction.
Mm-hmm.
and I think the team will fare well without him because the distraction is gone. On DeBoer extension before the season, I don't think he'll get a contract extension before the season. I think it'll wait till after the season to see how this season ends.
Mm-hmm. And how are you feeling about DeBoer overall as a fan? Where do you kind of sit on that spectrum?
I like DeBoer.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like we could have a better offensive scheme and a coordinator. I think we need to throw some toss sweeps in, some more screen passes like you like to see,
Mm-hmm.
and I'd like to see some 4 and 5 wide sets with all the speed receivers on the field.
You know what? This kind of makes me aggravated too. Like sometimes when I watch the offense, because like to me, if you're like 4 wide, to me that 4 wide receivers or 5 wide receivers with Alabama, they don't do that. So you don't often see 4 wide receivers on the field. What they do is they shift the tight end out, right? So you really have 3 wide receivers in the tight end. Or if they go 5, they just shift out and they put a running back and a tight end. Look, I get the whole shifting, but there's something dangerous about having 4 of Alabama's wide receivers on the field at the same time. And look, I'm saying run the ball, and you can still do that out of that formation. But not often do you see Alabama just kind of load up with 4 wide receivers. And I'm with you. Look, I think DeBoer is a good coach. But right now, the main issue, and everybody knows it, is the offensive scheme. And that's what is so polarizing about DeBoer right now, is because when he came in, we kind of saw him as an offensive-minded coach. But I think he's learned, and we've learned, that they didn't expect the SEC, at least in my opinion, they didn't expect the SEC to be as physical and as physically demanding as it is, right? I mean, you got to be able to run the ball. I mean, just period. Anything else, Patronic?
I'd like to see short yardage situation. I'd like to see Daniel Hill as a true fullback.
100%.
Followed by a speed guy that can hit the hole hard and fast.
I know. Yeah. And you know what? I feel that some of the short yardage opportunities that Alabama had, it was disappointing. I was telling somebody this morning, I feel like I need counseling for that stupid play that they ran against the Rose Bowl, against Indiana, when Daniel Hill handed it off to Jeremy Bernard. That play just like lives in my mind. I don't know like how to stop talking about it because it like really pissed me off so much. I was screaming at the TV. Like, if I know that from like a YouTube channel, imagine what Indiana's defense knows, right? Come on. So, that was like
the gimmick plays has got to go.
You look, there'd be nothing wrong with like just give it to Daniel Hill, just here, from here to here. It's 1 yard with a 240-pound back. I'll never get over it. But I appreciate it, Patriotic, man. Thanks for the support inside the comment box, and I'll catch you later, man.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it.
Yep, good call, man.
God bless.
Yeah, you too, brother. God bless you too, Patriotic. I appreciate your support inside the comment box. Yeah, right? I mean, as you think back, some of the short yardage plays were definitely I felt like I would have called something different. But if you do look at some of the 3rd and 4th down calls, some of them I liked. And some of them I liked, like against Auburn. Yo, they were cooking up Auburn on 4th down, right? And players were making plays. William Hino in with another explosive play. Man, thank you, William Hino. I really appreciate it, bro. Thanks for the 20 spot. Yeah, love it. And the chef inside the com box says, where is that slot receiver that a DeBoer offense usually has? Oh, man. You know, and that's another time I wondered, like in the Rose Bowl, is like, You targeted Lazier Brooks one time following a game that he had against Oklahoma. You got to figure out how to get him the ball, right? Like the beautiful thing about Lazier Brooks, right, is his strength after the catch. Angel from Pigeon Forge. What's up, brother?
Going on, Kyle?
How you doing, man?
Doing all right. I told everyone Jalen Milroe was going to win the Super Bowl,
Yeah, you did.
and people are still not going to let that go. They're still not going to let that go. Like, I've made that post on your post, whatever, when the Seahawks players won the championship, right, the Alabama players. People got so mad at me telling the truth. You guys bashed this man. You guys slandered his name. And I said half of the, some of the family fan base, there's pretty much half of them don't like Jalen Milroe. And they're all going to start, talking trash or saying, well, he didn't even play it down. It don't matter. You're still part of the team. You get paid. Mm-hmm. They drafted him for the future. And these idiot Bama fans, not all of them are idiots, but some portion that I've seen online don't seem to understand that it's a team sport. And they're like, dogging me. Oh, he like defend this guy. Well, hey, the haters, they need to apologize to him because he did win that Super Bowl. Granted, he didn't play in it. It don't matter though. He still gets a championship ring in his first season.
Yeah.
And because once Sam Darnold gets hurt or leaves, or all that, then he's going to be the starter probably. And I get Drew Lock. He's a good player, but he's not athletic enough than Jalen Milroe.
Yeah.
But they seem to be mad. Like, they just want barely hatchet.
Man, the thing about it is, back-to-back years, we've had two former Alabama quarterbacks walk away with Super Bowls, right? You had Hurts, who, man, what a quarterback he's turned into. And then you also have, Milroe. And we didn't see him play this year at all. I think on Pro Football Focus, I looked it up. He played like 3 snaps, but he played a lot in his preseason.
Yeah.
He played a lot in preseason.
Yeah.
You know what? I have Jalen Milroe on my taxi squad on my fantasy football team. Who knows? Who knows what this turns into? Okay. I still think I'm still very curious to see what he can do if given opportunities. It might take a while. I don't know. Let me ask you this question, Angel. Who is a better quarterback for Alabama, Jalen Milroe or Ty Simpson?
Well, both each got good qualities about them. I think that Ty Simpson, he's a better passer than Jalen. He can read defenses, sure.
Yeah.
But Jalen's the more gifted athletic. I would say they both got their own little style. It's hard to tell because they're both former Alabama players. Who knows? He might win a Super Bowl too as well. I don't know if the team he's drafted to. But I really do think that Ty Simpson edges out him a little bit over the captain standard alone and the passing ability. And granted, Ty he runs when he's drunk. I think that's when Jalen does better. He's a better rush heavy passer. Mm-hmm. They both got things to work on. Like Jalen Milroe, he's got to learn how to do defenses better and passing the ball. It's not only with Jalen Hurts, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because when he first came into the league, he wasn't a good passer. That's why he went to Oklahoma as well, and almost won the Heisman, and then got to the Eagles. I think Thomas goes on. I think he will be a better passer. But, only time can tell. But anyway, Roll Tide.
Yeah, take it easy,
get that out of there.
No doubt, bro.
With these haters, deal with it. Roll Tide. Blank.
All right, take it easy, Angel. Yeah. You know what? See, so Fusion inside the comment box. This is one of the things that I think people started to understand when playing Alabama this past year. Is it seemed like Ty had deep ball accuracy issues, which is crazy because his intermediate and him going through progression, he was money, right? And the thing is Milroe was the complete opposite. He couldn't do short yardage. He couldn't go through progression. But, man, Milroe was money on the deep ball, right? It was like, God bless. And just like Angel was saying, Ty, I thought he would have used his legs more here. He can run. He's fast. He did sometimes in like the spring game, right? But like, you look to Milroe running, man, there wasn't a better runner on the field. Such a wild difference. And this next quarterback who takes over, I think, is going to be completely different, right? Whether it's Austin Mack or Keelan Russell, I mean, I'll tell you what, I don't see either of those guys being like a takeoff type guy. I think they can move if they need to, for sure. Keelan Russell probably a little bit more. But we saw Austin Mack run some against Eastern Illinois, and that was kind of a sight, you know? It's not often you get to see a 6'6" quarterback out there kind of running around. Dude's tall. Man, yo, it's going to be exciting. All right, fam. Well, that's today's show. I appreciate you guys being here. Thank you so much for supporting me every day, Monday through Friday. Of course, Wake Up Bama, which drops, at 4 a.m. Thank you so much for always being here, getting inside the comment box for the super chats, and for being active and just, hanging out and getting through February together right here on Bama Football on YouTube. Please remember, again, to check out Sleeper. And it's great because they now have the team picks. So get in there. And the most important thing is that promo code is tailgate. So now you can make team picks. All right. So definitely get in there and check it out. It's a fun way to get involved with the app, 100%. Well, coming to you from beautiful Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Yo, I think, you know what? Should we make Tuesday our official taco day? I mean, it's already Taco Tuesday. Maybe it's just that's what we have to celebrate each Tuesday is just tacos. I'm serious. Every single Tuesday we come here. We leave talking tacos. All right? We might even have to have a segment talking tacos. I don't know. But because every Tuesday I leave here and the first thing I'm thinking about is tacos. All right? Have a great day. I appreciate you guys. News as it happens right here on Bama Football on YouTube. Stay active inside the comment box, and I will catch you on the next video. Thanks for watching. Thanks for supporting, and roll tide to everybody today right here on Tuesday.